into Cowboys Rewind, where you will get the best of the best Dallas Cowboys content from this week. A week where the Cowboys could end up donning NFC East champion t-shirts and hats. I'm Dani Sureck. The 7-7 Cowboys will travel to Philadelphia to fight for the division against the 7-7 Eagles. It's simple for Dallas. Win and you're in. However, if they lose, the Cowboys have to beat the Redskins, and they also rely on the Eagles having to lose to the Giants in the last week in order for Dallas to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Dallas is coming off a dominating performance against Los Angeles Rams, where Dallas held the Rams to less than 300 offensive yards. The boys will have to carry over some of that momentum into this week when they will go against one of the most effective tight ends in the league, Zach Ertz. Ertz is averaging more than 10 yards per carry and is quarterback Carson Wentz's go-to receiver. This week on The Break, they broke down how Ertz is able to be so effective and how the Cowboys can offset that and contain him.
Ertz has 84 catches. The number 2 receiver on this team is Goddard with 45.
Oh,
so it's both of their tight ends. They're just running away with it.
So I don't understand why teams haven't, to this point, gone into games, particularly last week, and I would think this week as well, saying, okay, take Ertz away. Yeah. Force them to, you can double him, or you put a cornerback on him. And if you put a cornerback on him, let's say you decide that you're just going to run with Byron just on him the whole game. He's going to still catch some passes because he's really good, but you could limit him, I think. And if you take him away, or you at least limit him, what else do they have to really be able to hurt you?
You know what? I was thinking that too, but okay. Even though we don't know those receivers very well, there's still wide receivers in the NFL.
Got it.
So the point is that if you're going to put Byron Jones on Ertz and Cheeto on Goddard, you can't just put Jalen Smith on Greg Ward and say that's going to work. I mean, like you can't. You have 5 corners for everyone because he's just saying they're spreading everybody out. So they are. I still think there's some mismatches there that the Eagles are.
I feel better about Greg Ward going up against whoever you want to throw out at cornerback. That would be your 4th cornerback. I still feel better about that than I do letting Ertz match up with Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
Like that, to me, would be a problem for the Cowboys.
That's what 2 tight ends are supposed to do. They're supposed to be on the line of scrimmage, almost at the snap of the ball. They could run the ball, so you have to kind of honor that because they can block and get in the way. And the next thing you know, they spread out, and now how do you handle that? That's what a really good 2 tight end set is supposed to do, and I'm sure that's what they do.
If Ertz is off the line, I would put a corner on him.
I agree.
And if he's on the line, I would double him with the linebacker and Jeff Heath. That's what I would do.
That's exactly right.
And when I say, like, he's not flexed out, like, you know, in the slot. Like, he goes everywhere. He lines up outside, too. He can do all that. And I think the Cowboys probably will use cornerbacks to cover him when the need arises. It just depends on where he lines up.
The Cowboys need to take advantage of an injury-riddled Eagles offense and prepare for Ertz to be targeted even more so than he was when these 2 teams last met in October. That Cowboys victory, Ertz was held to just 38 yards. Up next, we'll get a more in-depth breakdown of what we need to see from this Cowboys defense in Sunday's game from a former Cowboys safety.
Cowboys Rewind is brought to you by AT&T Academy, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
If Eagles tight end Zach Ertz plays in the slot on Sunday, one Cowboy we can expect to see defending him is cornerback Jourdan Lewis. In this week's Players Lounge podcast, former Cowboys safeties Danny McCray and Barry Church describe in detail the type of defense Lewis should play in order to make sure Ertz doesn't make any of those big plays.
Our football phrase of the day is
leverage. Leverage. So today we're talking about leverage. Is something that my man Jourdan Lewis has been doing to perfection since he's been starting there at nickel. All right, so we'll talk about leverage from a coverage standpoint. So Jourdan Lewis plays in the slot. When we speak of leverage, we say inside leverage, head-up leverage, or outside. And you play that leverage depending on what defense you're in. So if Jourdan Lewis is in cover 1, he's playing in the slot, he will play outside leverage, which is his nose on the outside shoulder of the guy that he's guarding. because he has linebackers on the inside like Sean Lee that can help him on crossing routes, and you also have a deep safety to help him if the guy runs like a deep post or anything up and inside. And then if he's playing outside and they run a 7 route, something similar to what Cooper Kupp was running throughout the whole game, then he's able to cover that because he's already outside, and the 7 route turns outside right into his leverage. And he's been doing that perfectly. And we'll have to do the same thing when we're guarding screens and guarding Zach Ertz this week when we're playing Philly. We got to keep our leverage. Zach Ertz is going to be the main target. And as long as we're able to keep our leverage and funnel him into the help, I think that we'll be successful guarding him.
I'll tell you what, Jordan Lewis is a hell of a player, man.
Oh, baller.
When he can,
baller.
So I like AB and I like Anthony Brown's game, but Jay Lewis is like a step up.
Stay with me here.
Okay, go ahead.
You just brought up Zach Ertz. Leighton Vander Esch is not going to play in this game. How do you make sure you take away Carson Wentz's favorite target? Because that game against the Giants, they go into overtime. Why is he running free? I'm just looking at the Giants and saying, that's a poor coaching job. There's no way in the world Zach Ertz should be running free. His favorite, when everybody else has seemingly been hurt on this team, why are you not doubling aces?
This is what hurts, right? When you are a coach and you watch a play like that, and you guys have worked on in and out coverage specifically for him motioning in, and you guys have worked on this for 4 days, and it's like, when this happens, this is what we do. And then you get out there in the game and you don't do it, and we say horrible coaching. And it's like, bro, I've been telling these dudes to do this all week. Yeah. We drew this up for 20 times because the coaches throughout practice, they draw up the plays that they want to see the defense go against. They do this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. These guys walk through this probably 30 times, and they let it happen. And it's like, oh, that's bad coaching. I'm like, bro, nah, that's bad play.
The Eagles are down to just 3 receivers because of injuries, so Ertz will be that go-to receiver. The Cowboys are dealing with some injuries of their own. Linebacker Leighton Vander Esch is still out with a neck injury. He's missed the last 4 weeks. In last Sunday's game against the Rams, linebacker Luke Gifford left the game with a broken left arm, which prompted the Cowboys to sign veteran linebacker and Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith to the roster. For the first time in his career, quarterback Dak Prescott was limited in practice this week. In last Sunday's game, Prescott injured his right shoulder, his throwing arm, in the first quarter of the game. There is a lot riding on this game for both quarterbacks. Which 2016 draft pick has more pressure on him this Sunday? We'll answer that question when we come back. Quarterback Dak Prescott was the 135th pick in the 2016 draft and is often compared to Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz, who was the 2nd overall pick in that draft. Prescott is 4-1 against Wentz, not including a 2016 game where Prescott only played 1 series. Prescott won the battle earlier this year when the Cowboys beat the Eagles in October. However, there is a lot riding on this game, not just for both teams, but both quarterbacks. Prescott is trying to lead his team to a division title and secure a spot in the playoffs, and he's doing so in a contract year. On the other end, Wentz is trying to take that NFC East title and prove that he can lead this Eagles team to success. When Philadelphia won the Super Bowl in 2017, it was Nick Foles in at quarterback because Wentz was out with a left ACL injury. This week on Cover 4, the crew discussed which quarterback has more pressure on them in Sunday's game.
Dak Prescott's always being compared to Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Well, the question this week, who's under more pressure for this game? Is it Carson Wentz, who's been getting a lot of heat this year, or is it Dak Prescott?
For me, I got to go with Dak Prescott on this one. I mean, for Wentz, he's already got the built-in excuses. Oh, my team was injury-riddled. My defense can't stop anybody. With Dak, I mean, he got a full set of cards here. He's going against a defense that's pretty terrible. Wentz already got the contract. I feel like there's a little bit more pressure on Dak in this situation.
Honestly, and you did sell me, but I'm going to go with Carson Wentz here. Okay. And for the simple fact of literally who has the most pressure on him in this game, he's been sacked 35 times this season already. And he's looking at a defense that just clicked together on Sunday. He's also playing in Philadelphia. If he loses this game, I do not want to be him living in Philadelphia. He also has Nick Foles constantly looking over his shoulder. He might not be in Jacksonville next year. And then the fact of the matter is that he's never even won a playoff game. It's all Nick Foles. Carson Wentz has to do this to prove that he's worth the money he got.
Let's be very clear.
whoever loses this game is going to have a miserable offseason.
This is true.
There's pressure on both of them. I came into this prepared to say Carson Wentz because he hasn't had the postseason success. It's all been Nick Foles. He already got the contract. He's supposed to be the guy that can lift his team. But Barry, you make a really good point that
Sold me.
Dak Prescott has a full deck here. Like he's not dealing with as many injuries. He's got talent around him. He's got an all-pro running back. His receivers aren't hurt. Carson Wentz doesn't even know the guys he's throwing the football to.
Here's the beauty of Dak Prescott, though. If he loses this game, likely fans will blame this on Jason Garrett and not Dak Prescott.
That is a really
That's
good point.
the
Damn,
point.
y'all are just throwing haymakers at me.
For
Right?
Dak Prescott, because of
it.
the fact that it's not going to be on Coach Peterson. He's won a Super Bowl. He's free in this game.
True.
It's going to be on Carson Wentz that he's not the quarterback they thought he was.
I think I'm not making this up. I think y'all swung me
That's a good
one way or
point.
the other and back.
Prescott injured his right shoulder in the first quarter of the Rams game last week and for the first time in his career was limited in practice. However, the Cowboys are confident that Prescott will be ready to go in Sunday's game against the Eagles. There's one Dallas Cowboy who also knows a thing or two about playing through a hurt shoulder. Next, we'll hear from Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith. Welcome back to Cowboys Rewind. The NFL's all-time leading rusher knows a thing or two about playing through injuries. Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith separated his right shoulder in the final regular season game in 1993 against the Giants. He played through the pain and led the Cowboys to a victory to not only secure the division title, but also a home playoff game. Smith says he's not concerned about quarterback Dak Prescott's right shoulder injury. Let's hear what else he had to say when he hopped on the Happy Hour podcast earlier this week.
Sprained shoulder. Emmett knows about sprained shoulders.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
But I don't have to throw the football.
Yeah. How's that going to work? How's that going to work this weekend?
Hey, all I can say is, let's wait and see. They're going to figure it out.
Are we going to see an appearance by Cooper Rush this weekend, you guys think?
You might. Depends on how bad the shoulder really is.
Yeah.
You might. But I don't have to. I didn't have to throw the football.
Right.
Dak has to throw the football.
Right.
So the rotation of the arm and the shoulder itself is paramount.
Yeah, but you had to get hit every time you had the football.
Yeah, but I didn't have to play the quarterback position.
Right.
The quarterback has to throw the ball.
All right.
We can't sit back there and hand the ball to Zeke and Tony Pollard the whole entire time. We just cannot do it. We have to throw the ball somewhere. We have to throw the ball somewhere. But we can lead with Zeke, and we can follow up with Tony,
Right.
and we can throw the ball some. We don't how much we don't throw the ball. We shouldn't throw the ball that much anyway.
Well,
this offense is predicated on what I would call the Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Mike Irvin factor. You want to throw the ball 30, 32 times, maybe no more than 35, and we're going to run the ball 20, 25, 35 times. I'm going to touch it at least 20 to 25 times. Somebody else is going to get a few extra catches and an extra tote somewhere, and we're going to call it a day.
Speaking of extra catches and extra totes, what are you seeing out of Tony Pollard?
I see a guy that has the skill set to be a very good player. I think we have two good 1-2 punches. Zeke is going to pound you. Tony Pollard is actually going to come behind you, and if you give him a little bit of daylight, it could be lights out. So I think that's a great 1-2 combination. We have to run the football. There's no doubt. We have to run the football to spare our defense. We got a bunch of pass rushers trying to play run defense, and that does not work. It just doesn't work. So slow the game down, and the way you slow the game down is by running the ball. You stay balanced. You allow the defense time to rest and to be attack, attack, attack. That's just the way it has to be.
You can listen to the Happy Hour podcast with a new guest every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on 105.3 The Fan from the Cowboys Club. Don't go anywhere. More exclusive Cowboys content coming your way. DallasCowboys.com is filled with content you can't find anywhere else, including sounds from the sideline. Each week it highlights the game from the viewpoint of the players, and you get to learn a lot of interesting things about the Cowboys. For example, linebacker Sean Lee drinks coffee of all things during a game. Let's rewind to the win last week over the Rams with sounds from the sideline.
on, Twan. Let's show up, baby. Let's show up.
No worries, baby. Great day to play football today. Yes, sir. It ain't nothing to be said. It ain't nothing to be said. Y'all know what type of time we on. Let's go right now. Let's go ahead and knock this out with a bang. All right? Attack these. You hear me? One team tonight. Yes, sir. One mission. Yes, sir. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win.
Dallas is 1-12.
Let's kick. Yeah, on defense. Defense. You want to kick it that way.
You're going to kick.
We defer the second half. Yes.
Okay, you're going to kick.
Yeah. Which goal? You'll appreciate defending.
Back to throw, 4-man rush, standing and throwing the ball to the right, and a nifty catch for Whit. Touchdown for the GOAT.
Hell yeah. All day. Hey, catch a breath, y'all. About to go back now.
Prescott in the gun, fake. Now he's going to be rushed by Fowler. Steps back from that, throws deep down the field. Wide open at the 35. It's Tavon Austin. He's going to dance in. First an inside handoff. The Cowboys, Antoine Woods, and this time Gurley gets the ball, and he's going nowhere. Really well played in the interior of the defense.
That was me, hit him.
We all hit him?
Hell yeah.
That's why tackle felt so easy. They ain't stopped us yet. They ain't stopped us yet, O-line.
All right, so if we're going to get up there and jam them, let's get up there and jam them with outside leverage.
Let's take this over.
Yeah.
Let's take this over. Okay, another one.
And they give the ball to Pollard, and Pollard escapes right. He's got a first down across the 50 and across the 40. 3rd and goal. They're going to give it to Elliott straight up the middle, and he's in.
Yeah, way to catch that 21, huh, baby? Hey, you set that up now. Hey, listen. But he looked good. That's a 4.5 40 right there. He looked good.
Right? Your water bottle. What? Is that your water bottle with the coffee in it? Oh, yeah, my bad. Bro, I want to kill somebody. That's my bad. I said, what the is this? That's my bad.
Snap to Goff on 2nd down. Back and throws it over the middle. Intercepted. Sean Lee at the 35. Lee bouncing off bodies, coming left now. Handoff. Elliott broke through and walked the dog. Four-man rush with a twist. Pressured. Lee's there. He sacked it. Change 50 yards. Kai Forbath. It's away. And it is good from 50.
Yes, sir. That was on you. Hey, that's your sack.
No, that's all y'all sack.
That's your sack, boy.
Hey, no, it ain't.
Yeah,
it is. Hey, it is yours.
That's on you.
I keep it on his field goal. I'm gonna name my son after.
What that's his name, Kyle? I don't know why his name was K. Bro got too much swag, bro. Huh? He got too much swag. 3, bro. I thought he was really just saying like the letter K standing for Q. I thought that's what he was talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see him during the week? He's everywhere. Off-white. He got swag, bro. K-A-R, that's how Kai spelled?
Yeah. I said K that time.
I would think that's K-A-H or something. K-A.
Spelled like it sounds.
It sounded like Genghis Khan.
It sounds.
Even out, you trying to have like a silent letter up in that.
Pollard is being chased and he breaks a tackle, foot in the ground, breaks to the 30, breaks a tackle. Hand off to Pollard, he breaks 3 tackles, he's down the left sideline to the 20, to the 10, and Pollard's gonna walk the dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey.
Hey, call him Playmaker TP. Playmaker TP.
Great job, man. We didn't break it. Hey. Well, hey, you got it with the speed that time.
I had to let y'all know y'all played me like I went 4-3.
You might have got Zeke now, though.
Yeah.
You might have got about $130.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it.
If the Cowboys beat the Eagles in Sunday's game, they will be crowned NFC East champions. It would be the first back-to-back division title for this franchise in 23 years. It would be the first back-to-back NFC East champion in 15 years when Philadelphia last accomplished that feat. Kickoff is at 3:25. However, Cowboys pregame live starts at 2 p.m. and you can stream it on all Dallas Cowboys platforms. Thank you for watching Cowboys Rewind this week. Until next time, I'm Dani Sureck.
Cowboys Rewind was brought to you by AT&T. SWBC Mortgage, financial solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit swbc.com. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. Want to tour AT&T Stadium? For more information, call 817-892-TOUR or visit dallascowboys.com/tours.